Welcome everyone to this week's Piggyback blog. Today's webinar is going to be specifically about marketing through social media, and the kind of marketing that you're going to be doing is marketing that social content or that content that you've written inside your blog, and how to get it out to your social networks that you've got your profile set up with, to make things really easy for your followers to know when you've added new content to your website. As with all webinars, this is being recorded, so it will be sent out to everyone afterwards. If you're not in this webinar, if you have any questions and you're listening to it later, please feel free to still reach out to me. I would love to have any of the questions that you have. This is Tracy. I am the Success Coordinator here at Brandco. I'm an avid blogger, your client whisperer, and I do a lot of inbound marketing, which is your content creation and other information like social media sharing and stuff like that, that takes your people from, rather than people constantly being contacted by sales, it's the client coming to you by way of the search engines and social media to impact more clients. So since today's webinar is specifically focused on social media marketing, I do have a question. So what social media networks do you utilize currently for your business? And this is not just that you have a profile created. What actual social networks are you utilizing? Now, I do see a lot of people coming through and doing Facebook, and you can click more than one. I personally utilize Facebook more than anything else. I've never been a big Twitter fan myself, but I think it's a generational thing, or the kind of way people like to speak. I've got about 76% of the vote, so let's go ahead and close the poll. So it looks like we have around 100% Facebook, 38% Twitter, 31% Google+, 62% on Google, and 15% are using other. If you could, any of those that answered other, would you mind sending me what those social media networks are that you're utilizing? I see here Allison has sent us a message and said that, good news, we use the blogs for open houses and then send it to Facebook and to Twitter, and the team now uses that blog for their personal Facebook. That's awesome. Karen sent in that she also utilizes Pinterest, and Pinterest has a very interesting way to be used. If you use it correctly, you can get a lot of shares and a lot of traffic specifically from it. Okay, so let's carry on then. The most important things when it comes to this is how to get your content out to your social media networks, so that they know that you've written new content and that they have a quick and easy way to get to it. Now, we all know that you have the ability to set up the subscribe button through this Jetpack web plugin. However, I'm talking today about a specific feature inside of Jetpack called Publicize. And I think this feature is very awesome, and what it does is it'll automatically utilize your social networks whenever you click publish. So do you currently make use of the Jetpack Publicize feature on your Piggyback blog? I know that I've spoken to a lot of people about it and whether or not they can use it, or how to set it up. And there's even a tutorial video that I've sent out multiple times about how to set up the Publicize feature. But we're going to also go over it again today. So at 71% of the vote coming in, we're at 13% yes and 87% no, which is a little disappointing for me, because Publicize is a very important plugin. Well, Jetpack is a very important plugin to begin with, but Publicize is a feature within that plugin, and it makes a lot of things very accessible for you and takes a little bit of the guesswork out of your hands. Publicize automates the process of posting new posts to your social media networks for you. It's an automatic process, meaning that if you're writing a new blog post, you click publish, and you've got Publicize set up, like in this area over here, you're going to see it automatically gets sent out to all these areas. You can utilize Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Tumblr, Path, and Google Plus through here. Pinterest is not set up through here, But Pinterest, I think, needs a little bit more attention whenever you're sharing information on it. YouTube kind of works the other direction, meaning that any of the content you're wanting to put on YouTube is usually coming from YouTube and being put onto your blog, posts, or pages. So it's a kind of a different way. You're not usually sharing um, your blog posts to YouTube. You usually are incorporating YouTube into your blog post. So Publicize is really easy and simple to set up. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Um, so let's go ahead and go explore how to go ahead and do this. So give me 1 second. Let me switch the screen over. All right, so we're inside of my piggyback blog. We're all very familiar with this look, the red layout, and everything else. And this is me inside of an add new post. So if we want to activate Jetpack to have it ready to go on our website, we're going to go under plugins. Now, if you do not see all these listings over here inside of your blog, you're probably on the basic version, which isn't going to have a link to plugins. Well, it's not something that you're usually inside of. So click basic and it'll go back to default and you'll be able to access plugins then. So inside of plugins, you're going to see a long list of different plugins, and you may see some that are different than the ones that I have here because I'm inside of my account and I'm able to access all of yours. But the one we're looking for is called Jetpack, Jetpack by Wordpress.com. What Jetpack does is it automatically connects the features that are available inside of Wordpress.com to our self-hosted system. So there's some things that you don't have at WordPress.com in this website that you have on WordPress.com. So if we click Activate, what it's going to do then is ask us to connect to WordPress.com. Now, when we click this, it's going to ask for a username and a password. It's going to be a different username and password than what we utilize for our piggyback blog. Now, I already have my account logged in here. If we want to deny this and do a different account, we can, just to see what it looks like. So we click Deny. Let me try it again. It may have already connected. And like I said, I've had this connected before. And let's see. Well, let's just go ahead and prove it. If you're here, usually what you'll see is a username and password area so you can put in your information if you've ever used WordPress.com before. However, if you haven't, there will be a button up here or right here. Here, let's click switch account. There we go. Right here. It says need an account ? All you need to do is click that and create a new account. It's going to take you over to WordPress.com and grab your email address, your username, and your password, and you'll just receive an email that you're going to need to click to confirm. They need to make sure that you are who you are. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my information so that we can get this connected. Hopefully I remember my password. And apparently I didn't. Let's try it again. I'm a little worried I may have forgot my password. Either way, you get connected that way. And from there, you're able to go in and select what specific information you're wanting to utilize. All right, let's try to go backwards. I apologize for this, guys. See, we all have issues when it comes to trying to get some things working sometimes. And that was me because I was trying to show you how to do it from your side, and I don't know my password. So you know what? Let's just make a new one. Need an account. I need one for Tracy at brandco.com. And create an account. Oh, my password's too weak. Okay, so what's happening now is it's sending me an email. And that email is going to ask for me to verify that I am who I am. So let me open my email in another browser real quick. And inside that email is literally going to ask for me to confirm my email address, so that it can send me the proper, know that I am who I am. And I click to confirm now, and it's taking me to a screen where it says approve, and that's what I'm doing. I tried to bring it over so it would let me show you, but it didn't. I apologize that this is a little crazy. So if we go back in here, we should see that I am properly connected. And Jetpack's over here. I'm not getting the green bar at the top any longer. So inside here, sorry that took so long, it'll show you all the different features that are available through Jetpack. And the one that we're focusing on today is the publicize feature, which is right here. Now this, you can have this in alphabetical order so it's easier for you to find specifically the one that we're talking about. But if you click on publicize, it will take you to configure it from there. From here, you can connect any of your Facebook or Twitter accounts or LinkedIn or anything else here so that you can connect them so that whenever you click on a new post or anything like that, then you can automatically share out to those social media networks. So if I'm going to connect to Facebook, I'm going to click connect. It's going to log into the Facebook that I'm currently logged into on this browser. Click OK. Friends can see my post, that's fine. Click OK again. All right, and I've got a lot of questions when it comes to this area because people are worried that they're going to have to connect to their profile. It's only connecting to the profile so it can see what other pages you have. So if you want to use this only on your business page, it's going to list this underneath you, where it says publicize to my Facebook page, and it'll have a list of all the pages that you're the admin of. So I'm going to click to go to Brandco. And don't worry about this if you're the only person that's utilizing your blog. But if you have team members that are also sending out information to your social media networks, go ahead and click this checkbox so that they all go to the same place. And click OK. And then from there, you'll see it change in here. And the same thing happens with all the rest of these social media networks as well. And once you have any of these finished, you can go to create a new page or post. Sorry, I keep saying page. And you'll see over here, it'll say the publicized features that are set up. You can edit any of the details inside here and create the custom message for each one. You can decide that you don't want this post to go out to Facebook and click it like that, and then when you click publish, it will not go out to Facebook. Or you can go back in and select it and have it going there again. So you have all those options. And essentially that's the big thing, so that when you click publish, it'll automatically send your information out, and it's something less that you have to worry about. Because if you don't have something like this, then you're usually having to copy and paste that URL into your social network, and it's just more work for you. Or you're not doing it at all, and your social media people, like your followers and your fans, aren't even seeing that you're writing anything new, and they're your biggest fans. They're the people that are supporting you already when it comes to the internet. So you might as well let them know the new information so that they can share it as well. Okay, so let's go back. The next piece I'm going to cover is the SEO Yoast plugin. The Yoast plugin is a very questioned plugin when it comes to using it in the piggyback blog. A lot of you will ask me the proper way to utilize this, and we mostly go as deep as talking about meta descriptions and SEO titles and things like that. But have you ever utilized the social area inside of the SEO Yoast plugin? Or did you even know it existed? Let me know. I feel like I haven't covered the social area half as much as I have the SEO portion of it. Of course, because the SEO portion is the most important. But today we're talking very specifically on marketing through social media, and this is a topic that we haven't covered in the past. So I want to make sure that if there is anybody using it, that we have, that we know that you're out there. And if not, then I love that I'm getting to open a whole new topic for everyone that's in here. So 64% of the votes coming in, and all of them are no's. So that's great. I mean, it's not great, but it's great to know that I have something new to show you. All right, so the social section of the SEO Yoast plugin manages the display of your links in the social networks that you're sharing them to. So it kind of works hand in hand with that publicize feature. So if you're sharing out your information, you may want it to look a specific way whenever you share it. Meaning you don't want it to always show this one like random logo that's over in the corner because it's the only photo that's showing up on that page or something like that. So the SEO Yoast social area will allow you to set a specific title and description and image for each of these social networks that you set up through it. And I believe you can set up Facebook, Twitter, and Google Plus through here. So when we get there, we'll cover the rest of that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the SEO Yoast plugin and how it does its social information. All right, so we're back in my piggyback blog. If we're wanting to activate and utilize the SEO Yoast plugin's social feature, we'll have to go to the SEO little tab here inside of our menu. You'll see that there's a drop-down area and it says social. So it's going to ask for specific information, like it needs our Facebook URL. So let's just go ahead and give it Brandco, and Brandco's Twitter user account is Hello Brandco. I don't know the rest of this information off the top of my head, but this is enough for us to go on. So we go ahead and click these, save these settings. All right, so next we'll need to go over to Facebook. In order to properly connect Facebook, you're going to need to click Add Open Graph Metadata. Inside here, it's also asking for a URL or a title and a description that it could utilize for the home page. It also asks for default settings, meaning you can have an image put in here that if the post or page that you're sharing on social media doesn't already have an image attached to it, it will always default to this one. So if you have a really nice logo or something like that that you want to show every single time, no matter what, like if nothing else would show and it would just literally be a link, you would put this in there and it would share and look good no matter what. So for instance, let's go ahead and upload one of our images. It's going to pull from our media library just like anything else inside of our website. So let's do one of my Brandco images here and click Save for the default. And that should give us the option to make our changes to any Facebook links that we end up sharing. Next, let's do Twitter. Twitter, you need to select to do an Add Twitter Metadata. You can use a default type of summary. Let's do summary with a large image. I don't use Twitter as often as I use Facebook, so we'll need to test it out and see what it does. So if we do save settings here, you can also do the rest with Twitter and with Google+. With Twitter, you need with Pinterest, you need your verification code that you would get with Pinterest. If you're there, you'll ask to verify your website and you would put that verification code inside here. With Google+, you'll have a publisher page if you want to connect it. If you have a Google+ page for your business, add that URL here. So that's what you would do. Sometimes reading is the best thing to do, like just slow down and read all the stuff that's on the page, because usually when it comes to any of this WordPress stuff, it's trying to guide you and help you out all along the way. So there's going to be some new information when we go in to add a new post. So we have our publicized stuff over here already. But if we scroll down, we're all familiar, hopefully by now, with this SEO Yoast area. Well, we've just gotten a new tab in here called Social. And through here, because we've connected Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, we're able now to specifically make it look a certain way in each one. It'll give us um, image ideal image sizes if we want to put them in there. Now, I'm just before you get overwhelmed by all these options, this is not something that you have to do. Inside of your SEO area, you can set a default so that you have something for every single page. So that's a big plus. But this is for if you're wanting your pages and posts when they're shared on social media to look a specific way. And this gives you the ability to do that. Now, sometimes when you make a blog post, you'll notice that it's being shared with a weird image, not the one that you're wanting to use when it comes to displaying what's going on with that blog post. Now, for instance, let's take for example my nonprofit. We have a page that's specifically about donating. So there's no like featured image or anything like that on the page, but I have like a specific image added into this SEO Yoast area that makes it look awesome, so that if somebody's sharing this and they never see any of the link information or anything like that, they're seeing that, hey, if I click on this, I'm going to be able to go and donate to this charity. So there's a lot of reasons why it's important to have nice photos, especially if you're going to be utilizing this on something like Pinterest. Pinterest is very reliant on imagery in order for people to pin it to their boards and to visit the pages. So that takes me into the next section of this. Aside from the fact that you have the ability to change your display and to automate directly through your WordPress platform, there's another way you can utilize this, and that's to just manage and automate all these resources. Now, there's a lot of companies out there that will allow you to do this, and this is, to me, after the fact of just publishing your post and then it's sharing. Now, you may, a year from now, find that that blog post is still relevant. Like a lot of the blog posts that I write for brandco.com are still very viable for informational purposes, months from now, that I'll still end up sharing on social media. And this is a great way to keep your social networks active and to keep sharing the content that you have on your website, because, content is forever. So I wanted to ask, would you want to manage your sharing all in one place so that everything's all in one place? You don't have to remember all your logins and everything like that every time you want to share something. I would hope that all of this is going to be a yes. I think it's kind of a silly question that I asked. And I totally recommend it. The more information that you utilize your social media to share, the better off you're going to be and the more traffic you're going to have. So I've got two options here that I wanted to share with you, and then a third that's kind of a little bit different. So the first one would be Buffer. Buffer shares your content at the best times possible through a special way of being able to schedule your blog posts to come out at a certain time of every day. Now, this is their free version that I'm going to be talking about today, but there are paid versions where you can have a lot more options and a lot more different schedules that you can use. You can get the most out of each post this way, and if you have one of their paid versions, you can get analytics on those blog posts and the social media things that you've shared as well. See how well they've been reacting and things like that in the internet sphere. So let me just go to Firefox real quick. This is my Buffer account. I have the free account. I only use it for that. I'm utilizing it for Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Google+. And on the websites that I'm using this for, I also utilize the SEO Yoast plugin along with the Publicize, meaning that whenever I have a new blog post, it automatically gets shared out. But if I have other information that I want to get shared, like I make a daily Facebook post or a daily Twitter post or something like that, this is where I do it. So it comes out at the same time every day, and it's awesome. So analytics is going to be disabled for the most part. Like I'm not going to be able to get all the really nice analysis information because I am on the free version, but you're able to still utilize a singular schedule Um, and they'll give you an optimized time for that schedule. So let's say if I was going to do just for my Facebook account and do 2 posts a day, it will calculate what times are best for those posts to come out based on the activity that's happening on that Facebook page. So if I click to replace the existing schedule, it's going to then allow all my Facebook posts to come out at these 2 times. So if I have 2 things scheduled, they're both going to come out on the same day. One's going to come out at 6:08, and one's going to be at 6:54. Now, if I think they're like way too close together, and honestly I do, I could be like one's going to be at 3 p.m. and the other one's going to be at that time. You can be in complete control of how you want this to go and change your time zones and settings and all kinds of stuff. Um, and the same thing goes, you have a different posting schedule for all of them. And as some of you know, it is smart whenever you're sharing both to Facebook and to Twitter to not share the exact same thing on both every single time. People on Twitter take their information a little bit differently than the people that are on Facebook do. Twitter people have their 180 characters, and that is their max. So quick and to the point, and the sharing of information. Facebook is a little bit more familiar, and you're sharing a lot more information and being a lot more informal. So gauge it however your audience is going to take the information and utilize something like this to send out your information as much as you want. So if you're saying I want to post out to every single one of these, you can add a photo or a video, and you would click to add to the queue. You could share it right then, or you can add it to the queue that you just made inside the schedule. So this isn't the only one of its type. There's another company called Hootsuite that uses all this as well, but it has a lot more additional features that will include things like setting up feeds so that you're able to see when certain things are mentioned or when your name is mentioned, or you see your Facebook wall at the same time and things like that. Now, Twitter, however, their Hootsuite, their free account is a little bit different. It doesn't let you have all four of those networks like I showed over in Buffer available to you like it is there. You're limited to, two, I believe, two specific networks, and that's it. So this is Hootsuite. It's a little bit more robust than Buffer is. So because it has a lot more options. So if I look here, I have 3 Facebook pages in here currently, and that's, I think, the maximum I'm allowed to have. But I'm able to also, see all the messages that are sent on a Facebook page, or I'm able to post out to some WordPress websites. I'm able to create streams that will allow me to follow specific words. So it's got a lot more to offer, and you can, let me go over here. You can publicize, you can do all kinds of additional information, get analytics inside here. But it's a matter of if you're going to use it or not, because if you're going to make real use of Hootsuite, you're going to want to buy their product. Okay? So in difference to these two kinds of automators, there's your native scheduling. So if you're using Facebook or Twitter, I know that they have the ability to set for things to be published on a specific time. So if you want to use that, you can. I mean, most of us are logged into our Twitter and our Facebook accounts all the time anyways. So just automatically setting it to, schedule inside of Facebook isn't as big of a deal. But, I mean, if it's me, I'm going to be using Buffer rather than doing it natively. One big advantage to doing a lot of your Facebook and tweeting natively and scheduling it that way is that you're able to then still be able to tag other people into the post. So I don't think I have the ability to schedule inside of this account. But if you do, when you're inside of the post area, there's an option here to where you can click to automatically pick a time and a day that you want this post to post. And the same thing is available inside of Twitter. So if you don't want to grab onto a management platform like Hootsuite or Buffer, you can always do it inside of the native program. All right, so one big thing I wanted to make sure to cover is some troubleshooting that you may come into contact with whenever you're utilizing some of these products. The first one, with Publicize, I have gotten reports that whenever they're doing their Publicize, like they publish a blog post and it's not going out to all the social media networks, if you have an issue like this, my recommendation is to go under the Publicize settings, under General Settings, uh, Sharing, and disconnect the network and then reconnect it. Sometimes there's a disconnect between the two. I mean, it's two totally different platforms trying to talk to each other. And if it's not working, then usually unplugging it and plugging it back in is all, is the go-to method for almost anything when it comes to the digital age. Um, Number two, Facebook. Sometimes Facebook brings up an old photo that you'll need to like grab the one that you've set now for when you've went in and done your social area in SEO Yoast. Now, there's a special little guy that helps you out with this, and it's called the Object Debugger. And if you grab your handout from this webinar, you'll see that you can click on the link there, or if you ever look up inside of Google, you can find the Open Graph Object Debugger. And what you do is you essentially put in the URL of the website that you're wanting to pull that's not pulling the right image. So you can see what the existing scrape data is. And it'll show you how it would show up automatically right now. But let's say that we change this image and it's still not pulling. Sometimes you have to go in here and click this button that says Fetch New Scrape Data. And what that does is it brings in any of the changes and it kind of refreshes. This is because Facebook doesn't automatically look to see if you've made a change. It's cached and it's trying to save processing power by not pulling that new data over and over and over and over. All right, so those are the two big things that I wanted to make sure that I let you know about. And if you grab the handout, you can get that link to the object debugger really easily. So we're almost done here. I have to ask, will you be sharing with your fans and followers now your new content through all this information that you've learned? Will you be making use of it so that you're going to, all those people that are already following you on all these social media networks, that they know that you have this content available and that they're going to go to your website, get all that new content to them and get all that traffic for you? All right, I like that. That's positive. I've got 52% of the vote in so far. I've got a 50% yes and a 50% I'm going to try. And you know what? I'll take I'm going to try anytime. All right, so that's the end of everything that I had to cover today, and I know I have a couple of questions to get to. Earlier before the webinar began, I asked if anybody had any great news, and it looks to me like someone got a huge listing largely due to his newly designed website. That is fantastic, and he wants to be able to feature it the best way possible. Any ideas would be great. You know what, Jarrell? I think that creating a page specifically about that listing, or creating a landing page for anyone that may be interested in that listing, or if you create the page about the listing, you can share that all over. That would be even something that you could do a promoted post for Facebook, because you would have a landing page for people to go to, and you could use the Gravity Form plugin, which we're going to be covering on the 24th of this month, to be able to create the opportunity to grab people's information, which is, lead capture. But I think that's great, and congratulations. Allison asks, what is Path? I'll be honest with you, Allison. I was looking it up today myself, and I go to path.com, and it says it is a very new ad-free social environment with a private messenger. I've never utilized it myself. It says Path Quality Internet Goods. So maybe it's specifically a platform where most people sell things or are selling things and share information about their products. Um, Jarrell said that he missed the click after choosing plugins to get to publicize that he didn't see it. So let's just quickly go back to here. If you have Jetpack already activated, it will say here, it will say deactivate if it's already activated. Inside of Jetpack, if you want to activate the publicize button, it's right here. If you want to do an alphabetical order, you can find it that way too. Right here. You can click this button and go to the blue button down here that says configure. If you want to get the shortcut to here, it's going to be under settings, sharing. That's where this is going to be found. So inside of here, you can set up all those social media networks. Okay? And awesome. I love that you're excited about it. Jarrell also asked if I was going to show examples of how they look after creating a couple of these. Tell you what, let me do that. Let me disconnect Branco and just put my profile on here so I can just do one of the Facebook ones. I don't want to be posting random things on the Branco. All right, so Tracy Adams, this is going to go onto my profile. So let's go create a new page, a new post. Test post. Testing for all my webinar peeps. So I'm going to go in and change my social, and I'm going to have specifically this image right here, show. And let's change the title to test title for SEO Yoast and SEO Yoast social description, just so we can see how all the stuff does whenever we submit it. So I'm going to go ahead and click publish. And then we can go to my Facebook and take a look. So let me go over here. Okay, so if I look inside here, testing for all my webinar peeps is what my blog post said. And if I wanted to have edited that, it would have been done so here. This is where I would have edited it. Okay? Bunch of random stuff I've got open. See, I put in here test title for SEO Yoast, and it looks like it's saying this is the category that's in and that WordPress posted it for me. So this is how it's looking. It's grabbing this image and putting it in place. So it's pretty simple and straightforward. I like to do things like this, late at night or just quickly delete them so that I can test and play with things. That's just kind of how I learn when it comes to anything with this WordPress. I play. And Allison says that Hootsuite is the best. That's great. I just don't like paying for anything. So if you have do you have a pro account, Allison? I'm going to see your response a little bit further down. But if you do, I'd like to know. The handout should be available on your area here where you're able to control your webinar. So you should be able to grab the handout there. Okay, Julie? I've heard that you shouldn't push out your blog to all your social media site, that you should rewrite slightly and manually post to each. That's a great opportunity. I think that's great. To me, I'd like to just do it and get it over with. I mean, to me, if you're not going to go through the trouble of rewriting each one for each social network, then go ahead and take the opportunity to just automate the process and get it automatically sent there. That's what I would do. Now, whenever I reshare things, I do that. I will go through and I'll rewrite and share things specifically to adhere or appeal to each social media network. But if I write something, I want everybody to know about it right then. Allison also asked, is Jetpack part of Piggyback or is it an additional fee? Jetpack is a free plugin. It's free for everyone and it's already installed into your Piggyback blog. All you have to do is activate it. Allison said that she does not use a pro account with Hootsuite, but she uses it for Twitter and for 2 Facebook accounts. Yeah, I think that's the maximum that you're able to utilize as far as networks or accounts inside of there. So that would make sense. For me, I like to use a lot more than that because I manage a lot of different things. That's what happens when you wear a lot of different hats. But yeah, if you have any additional questions, feel free to go ahead and send them now. However, I'm going to start drawing everything to a close. I do appreciate all the questions that I got today. I love that everybody's interested, and I suggest maybe rewatching this webinar and going back through everything. And I do apologize for taking so long with that publicize feature because I forgot my password. So I'm sorry about that. But if you have additional questions, let me know. As always, you can schedule an appointment with me through Calendly at calendly.com/bco_Tracy. You can also send me an email at tracy@brandco.com. My phone number is 407-999-0009, extension 115. And I'll see everyone again next week for the SEO Yoast specific webinar. And then I'll be seeing as many of you as possible, hopefully, while we're all at Keller Williams Family Reunion in New Orleans. So everyone have a great rest of the week.